Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel. I am Donna E. Knight, and I'm glad that you're here with me today. Today we are going to talk about part 2 of the Train Your Brain series, and it's going to be great. Hope you guys stay with us, and we will be right back. I'm Donna E. Knight, and I am back again. We are going to discuss part 2 of the Train Your Brain series. This section, we are going to talk about replacing those bad habits. In part 1, we talked about breaking the bad habit. So now we're going to talk about what do you do after you break the bad habit. So it's all about training your brain, just being the best you that you can be. That's what it's all about. Alright, before we dig in though, I want to tell you guys, listen, I have a Mind Power section that digs way deeper than the YouTube videos about exploring the power of your mind, and the masterclass is called Mind Power, and it is on my Secrets to Success Master School. You can go to Secrets to Success. I'm going to put the website right here for your convenience. secretstosuccess.thinkific.com. Alright? Okay, do that. Alright, next I want you guys to subscribe, I want you to like, and I want you to share the video. Okay, we are on a mission to get more followers because it's all about helping people be the best that they can be. Alright? So, if you have a life that consists of bad habits, and you may not really know if you have bad habits or not. You may have an idea because you may be a person that start things, don't finish them kind of person. That may have something to do with you have a pattern or you have a history of just bad habits, like not following through is just a bad habit. But it's more mental than you think. That's the reason why I'm doing the YouTube videos, because I want you guys to understand that everything, our behavior is all mental. It's all mental. And once you master the mental part of anything, you can conquer anything, And I think that's an amazing component, because we sometimes think because, we have these hands and these feet and these eyes that are seeing things externally, sometimes we get confused and think things are really external. But things are not external. Everything is internal. It's all with control of your mind and learning how it works. And once you do that, you can get whatever you want done. So that's why this YouTube series is so important. You guys really should take the time to share this, like right now. Click share and share this with someone, and maybe go back and watch part 1 if you didn't watch part 1, because it talks about just the psychological component of how you develop habits, and if you have bad habits, the parts of your brain that you have to work on to break those bad habits. So this section is going to focus on the next step. So the next step is, once you break the bad habit, you have to replace it. This is a horrible example, horrible example, but it's just like someone who's trying to stop smoking. Sometimes they have to replace that habit that they have with their hand. They have to replace that with something else. Typically, you may see that a person who's trying to quit smoking, they may gain weight because they start replacing the smoking with eating. And that is kind of how we work psychologically. Once the body is in a routine or a pattern of doing something, it wants to continue to have something in that space. So we're going to talk about now safe ways or good ways to replace those bad habits with a good behavior. All right, the backbone to any behavior is motivation. You have to be motivated to get anything done. If you're not motivated to do something, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to complete that task. Motivation, total different topic for a total different day, but we can talk about that if you guys want to. Leave a comment. Let me know if you want to talk about motivation. But we're only going to talk about it briefly here, and it's only because motivation is important to a habit or to a routine. Jim Rohn says that motivation is what gets you started in an endeavor, and the habit is what keeps you going. So That's true. Motivation is what gets you started, and the habit is what gets you going. So the key to replacing that bad behavior with a good behavior, okay, find something that you're interested in. We talked about that before. And when you find something that you're interested in, most of the time you're going to be motivated to do it. If it's something that you really, really like to do, you're going to be motivated to do it, you know. But the hard thing is just following it through. Sometimes that's the hard thing. So the first key thing that you have to do when you're trying to develop new habits and trying to accomplish your goals, the first thing you have to do is learn to ride the motivational wave. This is a key word here, or keywords. So what is that? What is motivational wave? Motivational wave is this spurt of energy that you feel internally that gets you geared up and amped up and ready to do something. That's a motivational wave. It's like all of a sudden it hits you and you got all these great ideas and this and that, and it's just like running 1,000 miles per hour and boom, 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 boom. And it's actually like a very, very exciting feeling. It's really exciting. So go with that. Go with that motivational wave. When that urge hits you and you start getting all these ideas, you need to act. Okay? Take action. Get up. Grab a pencil and paper and write it down. Write down the ideas that are coming to your head, okay? Don't replace that motivational wave by just sitting there surfing social media. Put your phone down and get up and act. That is important because the body is telling you, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready. Let's do it. So that is when you're going to be most effective. You're going to be most effective when your brain is telling you, let's go. That's when you're going to be most effective. So you have to get up and you have to act then. Okay, so while we are riding the motivational wave and we're all energized about what we're doing, okay, the next thing we need to do is predict our obstacles. Okay? Predict these obstacles because they're going to come. So start preparing for it beforehand. You know, I just truly believe, and this is a personal thing, but I just truly believe in being, you know, ahead of the game. You know, I don't like to be reactive. I like to be proactive. So when you think of the things that could possibly, let's say, for example, you know, if you are planning to start a business and you've tried to start this business 3-4 times, okay? So if this is time number 4, you know, you're giving it another try because that's kind of how things happen, right? You know, a lot of millionaires, they, you know, they've tried that same business or a variation of that business 5 or 6 times. And so that's what we don't see. Like, we see the after story. Like the guy who started Tom's, he was recently on Shark Tank and he was talking about, you know, his first business. He's had several businesses before the Tom shoes. So we don't see those processes. So that's why I do my YouTube videos, so you all can be encouraged to know that everything is a process. It's a process. But most people fail because they fail to prepare. And then they fail because if something doesn't work that first time, they immediately give up. Okay, well, okay, you can't do that. Okay, so if it fails that first time, you gotta, revamp, come back with a new plan. So the first thing is, so now you got a new idea for your business. So you got to ride the motivational wave, get all your ideas written down. Let's develop a budget, how much we're going to need. And then the next thing you need to start doing is preparing for the obstacles. Because you've done this before, so you have an idea of what could possibly go wrong. So start preparing for that. So if this happens, if A goes wrong, I'm going to go to step B. B is my contingency plan. Okay, if B goes wrong, I'm going to go to step C. C is my contingency plan for B. Okay, and you may not know what the contingency plan should be, so then you can consult someone who's done that business before and ask them, did you have a difficult time doing this? Okay, what did you do? So you might can try using what they've done. Okay, so, but you have to predict obstacles, because if you don't, when the obstacle comes, guess what you're going to do? You're going to give up again. All right, so number 3, once you have kind of a sketch of what you're going to do, or an idea of what you're going to do to replace the bad habit, the next thing that you need to do is break it down into small pieces. Okay, this is extremely important. Okay, with my nonprofit organization, I think we do a great job of planning things, because we break everything down into small pieces. When we're planning a fundraiser or something like that, we assign the task out and we break everything down into small pieces. So that makes it easy. It's just like when you're eating a steak, you know, the steak looks delicious, right? But you can't take the whole steak and put it into your mouth. You break it down into small pieces. So it's the same way with tasks. It's the same way with if you're in college, you're going to college. You don't start college and finish college the next day. It's too much. You break it down into 4 years. But the thing is, like we just said, you know, people lose motivation in those 4 years. Sometimes they quit, they give up. But I'm telling you, giving up is a bad habit. And we have to break that bad habit, okay? Because that bad habit leads to another bad habit. Because 9 times out of 10, when you give up on a task, you feel bad about giving up on the task. You know, you feel bad. It's like, man, you know, I wish I really would have finished that. I wish I really had completed that. Then you start feeling depressed and sad about it. So now you replace that bad feeling with something else bad. And it's just bad after bad after bad, okay? So let's make things easier by learning how to replace these habits with doable things. So that's why number 3 is important. Break things down into small pieces, okay? First, I'm going to do this. I'm going to work on this. You know, I'm going to do that. This, maybe you're a person who you're not a busybody like me. Like, I'm giving myself something to do every day. But maybe you're not a busybody like that. So maybe you need to break it down to weekly, or every month I'm going to work on this and work on that. But either way, just break it down into small pieces. And then sometimes, now don't give yourself too much time. Like, I'm going to work on this for 6 months. Okay, you're going to lose motivation. So don't do that. But, you know, keep yourself motivated by working on it. Because when you work on it, you start getting excited. So keep yourself motivated by working on it as frequently as possible. But just make sure you're breaking it down into small pieces. Okay, so the last things here, number 4, these last 2 things that we're going to talk about, they kind of go hand in hand. The first one is having an accountability partner, and the second thing is social expectations. These kind of go hand in hand. So I was going to talk about social expectations last, but I think I'm going to talk about it first and then talk about accountability partner. So just bear with me, okay? Okay, so social expectations. What are social expectations? Social expectations are what people expect from you socially. Okay, so I know we like to say this all the time, like, I don't care what people think. I don't care what people think. Okay, yes, that's great. And you should feel that way, okay? But social expectations can also be a motivation. Because when you see all of the things that are going on around you, it's kind of like when you're surfing on social media. You know, you see these people. My husband and I, we talk about this all the time, because sometimes the things on social media can really make you mad. But anyway, we talk about this. Like when you see the people on social media, like, oh, okay, now how did they do that? I wonder how she did it. That's what I want to do. It can give you great ideas. And then you start posting things and getting feedback from people, and it kind of can tell you which direction you need to go. So social expectations can be a motivation. And so how does social expectations, how does it hold hands with accountability partner? Okay, so when you have an accountability partner, you have someone by your side that's going to hold you accountable for completing your goals. Okay, so now this is very important. A lot of scholars talk about, you know, having this team, or having 2 or 3 people that you can bounce ideas off of. I cannot tell you how important that is. When I started my nonprofit organization, the people that I had in that circle, which was very small because it was only 2 people initially, they were my accountability partners. And they were also the people that helped drive my social expectations, and they help keep me motivated. And it's so important because if you choose the right people, first of all, make sure you choose the right people. Choose people that you trust. It doesn't have to be a friend, but you may have a friend that is, very motivated, a person who is in tune with things that are going on, and those people can help drive you. So you may come to them and say, look, this is an idea that I have. This is what I want to do. And this was kind of my experience. I said, this idea just hit me. This is what I want to do. This is what I see happening in the future. Like, I could see where I wanted the organization to go, what I want it to be. Now, it's changed. We just celebrated our 5-year anniversary, and it's changed a lot from its initial inception, but which is great because I believe the change has made it better. But, these were people who sat down and said, okay, well, I can help you with this. Let this be under my umbrella, and I can help you with this. Let this be under my umbrella. Those things are so important. They are so important in creating consistent patterns, developing good behaviors in business, developing good behaviors and getting things done. It could be if you're wanting to go to college. Sometimes it's easier to start that endeavor with someone you know. When I went to college, that's what I did. It was my friend and I, we both graduated from the same high school. We went to college. We started college together. So it was like, we didn't really have cell phones in 2000. I mean, we had cell phones, but not everybody had a cell phone. But, we get out of class like, hey, girl, where are you? Oh, okay, well, you're going to the cafeteria. Okay, I'll meet you over there. You have a person that you trust, and they can help you maneuver through difficult situations, because starting college is difficult. You go there, you don't know anybody, you're young, you're impressionable, you want people to like you. Your brain is totally different when you're 18, and you want people to like you. And so it makes it easier when you have one or two people that you know. So though that is important. And so as you grow and as you get older, you embrace accountability partners differently, because when you're younger, it's more like a friendship, but as you get older, it's more like a business-ship. Okay, so I'm kind of going to close it out right there. I hope you guys take a moment, like when you're working on your next plan, when you're trying to get rid of those old habits that you had of starting things and not finishing them, or just any bad habit that you have that's holding you back. I hope that you think about that it's really something that's very, very mental. And if you want to change anything in your life, the first thing you got to do, you got to change your mind. I know you've heard that saying before. I can't tell you enough how true that is. You've got to change your mind. You've got to change your mindset. You may even have to change your environment, because environment is very influential in how you think and how you process things. The people that you're around, they really influence you. So you may have to change. In order to change your mind, you may need to change your environment. Change is always good. It's always good. It's always a good thing. So I want you guys to go to my Secrets to Success.think.ific. Go to my Success Institute and enroll in the Mind Power class. If you don't want to enroll in the class, it's fine. You're going to need it later, just letting you know. You can do the free webinar. I have some free webinars on there that you can go on. They have great information. You can follow me on social media at Donna E9. I'm going to put that somewhere. Donna E9. You can follow me on there. You can also go to my website to see everything that I have to offer at www.donnae9.com, honey. DonnaE9.com. Yes. Follow me on social media. Oh, like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, share. Y'all get that? Like, subscribe, share. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Leave your comments below. Let me know what habits you're trying to work on to break. What new routines you want to create. What's your stumbling blocks? What is the thing that holds you up or holds you back the most? You may send something that I may find interesting and I decide to talk about on this channel. So you just never know. All right. Love you guys for watching. Be great.
Yeah.